Qapla world, it's Bird of Prey 5. This video is meant to be a quick look back at the past year in sci-fi on television. Less than 1 year ago, on December 30th, 2018, the second season of The Orville premiered and introduced us to a new alien word.
Jaloja!
Jaloja, of course, referring to the Mocklin ceremony for the once-a-year urination. While it was established in the first ever episode of The Orville that Mocklins urinate only once per year, it took until the first episode of the second season to know just how much fanfare there was around it. Just over 3 weeks later, we had the very anticipated, amongst Trek fans anyway, first episode of Star Trek Discovery Season 2. Although Season 1 was heavily criticized for so many canon violations and generally poor writing, we universally had high hopes Season 2 would improve, especially with the promise at the end of Season 1 that we'd see the Enterprise, Captain Pike, and even Spock in Season 2. Unfortunately, even with the high doses of nostalgia, Season 2 ranked only marginally better than Season 1, and still suffered from awful writing, nonsense plots, destruction of established canon, and ended with a most ridiculous order by Starfleet, and the USS Discovery and crew lost in the distant future. As Discovery was disappointing us, The Orville was raising our expectations. Amongst the highlights of The Orville in 2019 was literally every episode. Identity Parts 1 and 2 are widely considered the best two-part sci-fi television episodes since Star Trek The Next Generation's Best of Both Worlds. And even better, we only had to wait a couple weeks, not half a year, for a resolution. The two-part season finale of The Orville was also especially memorable, involving time travel and an alternate reality future. I'm keeping the details light so as not to spoil a show you absolutely should be watching. 2019 was also a great year for The Expanse. Back in 2018, the Sci-Fi channel canceled what was arguably the best show on TV after Season 3. But in 2019, Amazon picked up The Expanse for a Season 4 on rumors that Jeff Bezos himself was a fan. Just a couple of weeks ago in mid-December, we got the entire 4th season on Amazon Prime Video. And yes, I binged it, and I have to say it's my favorite season so far. No spoilers at all here. Please check it out. Besides Amazon, Netflix has also had notable sci-fi series in 2019. Just a few days ago, Season 2 of their Lost in Space remake was released. While I haven't watched the series yet, I've heard good things. Earlier in the year, Netflix brought Katie Sackhoff back to Sci-Fi in Another Life, whose trailer showed great potential, and the premise of a mysterious alien artifact that lands on Earth, and humans go to the stars in search of the source. Unfortunately, Another Life quickly unravels, and is best described as stereotypical millennials in space, which no one wanted to see. I couldn't even finish the series. I watched maybe 3 episodes, and then a YouTube video that filled me in on the rest, and I am glad I stopped watching when I did. For reasons unknown, Netflix has renewed this for a second season. On the plus side, we did get the 3rd season of Stranger Things, which I enjoyed, but I am gravely concerned to see at the end they are planning yet another season. These kids are growing up too fast. Black Mirror was back with its shortest season yet, only 3 episodes. Unfortunately, it was also the worst season, and I jumped ship after the first episode. I think this series might be done. Black Mirror was widely considered our modern-day Twilight Zone, at least until CBS All Access brought us Jordan Peele's actual modern-day remake of The Twilight Zone. They did an excellent new rendition of the opening title sequence, but that is where my compliments end. The entire season is poisoned by politics and political agendas. The final episode is especially insulting to the original Twilight Zone, but I'll spare you the details in case you want to watch the 10-episode mess for yourself. There was one episode that actually dealt with politics, The Wonderkind. In fact, it was the standout episode of the season now that I think about it. It was the only episode I thought lived up to the brand. Changing channels to Stars, a network that might have even less subscribers than CBS All Access, saw the second and final season of Counterpart. Counterpart takes place in a world where an accident caused a duplicate reality to be created in 1987, and there's a doorway between the two universes in a government-controlled building. The show begins decades after the creation of the duplicate reality, and the existence of the other reality is of course kept secret by the governments on both sides, but they nonetheless have agents who regularly enter into the other's reality. It's a great concept, and I love the first season, but I've yet to see season 2. They knew the series was ending early and were able to write in a resolution, though far earlier than they had hoped. Counterpart starred J.K. Simmons, who I had previously best known from those Farmers Insurance commercials. I hope Counterpart comes to a streaming service soon so I can finally watch season 2. I'm sure there's a lot more sci-fi out there, but that's what I've heard of and can remember. I would be remiss not to mention The Mandalorian, which headlined the newest streaming platform, Disney+. I've yet to watch the series, and I'm unsure if I'm ever going to bother with Disney+. The number of streaming services are getting out of control.
The line must be drawn here! This far, no farther!
Overall, 2019 has been a divisive year for sci-fi, like it has been for just about everything else. In 2020, I am most looking forward to Star Trek Picard, though I suspect the chances it is good are remote at best. I might have had my hopes up, but recent releases of various Star Trek short tracks stripped much of my optimism, as the current team behind CBS Trek only seems to continue to make things worse. I hope we'll see the 3rd season of The Orville and the 5th season of The Expanse, though either or both could possibly be delayed until 2021. I also expect we'll see the 3rd and hopefully final season of Star Trek Discovery, which will take place in a dystopian future some 900 plus years after the end of Season 2. 2 animated Star Trek series are also possibilities. Have I missed any must-see sci-fi TV of 2019? If so, please leave a comment and tell me what I've missed, or tell me what your favorite and least favorite sci-fi shows of 2019 were. What are you looking forward to in 2020? Let me know. More importantly, I wish everyone a very happy and healthy new year. May your 2020 bring plentiful Qaplas, and may your Jalojas all be at times of your choosing. Take care, everyone. Thank you all for watching my video. Please remember to comment, like, and subscribe. And don't forget to hit that bell icon. Without it, you won't get notifications of new videos. Check out BirdoPrey5.com, the new home of everything Bird of Prey 5 on the web. You can also check out my forum at juot.net. I'm also on social media, on Facebook, Twitter, and Gab. If you'd like to make a donation, check out paypal.me/BirdoPrey5 or on BirdoPrey5.com. Take care.